The coolant reservoir is located on the right side of the engine bay and indicated by a red arrow. You will need to remove the front panel and the side panel, green arrow, to perform this work. Please follow the link provided at the end of this video for additional assistance with that task if needed. Before you replace it, make sure it is not leaking from the cap. To begin, make sure the vehicle is stone cold and not under any pressure. As always, you should be wearing safety glasses, and while doing this work, chemical-resistant gloves are a good idea. The side panel has a cutout in it, so you do not need to remove the hood shock, indicated by the red arrow. Begin by draining the cold coolant. Use a flathead screwdriver and release the electrical connection for the level sender, red arrow. Remove the side panel mounting clip from the top of the reservoir. You will be transferring this to the new reservoir. To remove the bleeder valve, red arrow, you will first need to get the right side O2 sensor wiring and mount out of the way, blue arrow. Slightly separate the mount and remove the wiring connections from the mount, red arrows. Use a 10mm socket and remove the single screw and then the mount from the firewall, indicated by the red arrow. With the mount out of the way, use a set of hose clamp pliers and remove the clamp from the coolant reservoir, blue arrow. Use a pick to help remove the hose from the coolant reservoir, red arrow. You can squeeze the tabs on the hose and disconnect it from the bleeder valve if possible. Our hose connection was really stuck on and I didn't want to risk cracking the stem on the reservoir, so I removed the line to work on it on my bench. Slide the bleeder valve off the mount, blue arrow. Remove the mount by squeezing in on the two clips and separating it from the coolant reservoir, red arrows. You're going to transfer this to your new reservoir. Use a T27 Torx and remove the single screw holding the reservoir to the chassis, red arrow. You will need to release the coolant hose that comes out from the reservoir from its mount on the firewall, red arrow, and compress it enough to clear the top engine brace, blue arrow. Move the reservoir towards the engine and lift it up. Once off the mounts, you can lift up on the hen coupling, red arrow, and separate the line. The reservoir can now be removed from the engine compartment. Make sure to clean underneath the area as it gets lots of dirt and debris. Transfer over any components to the new reservoir. Installation is the reverse of removal. Always use Porsche synthetic coolant lubricant on all hoses and connections when reinstalling. Depending on how much coolant you lost, you may be able to just fill the reservoir and bleed the system. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.